Heading out of Tokyo to Ibaraki Prefecture early in the morning, Tzu Chi volunteers are on a reconnaissance mission to tsunami-hit Oarai near the coast. Access to the disaster zone has been restricted, but the Taiwanese aid workers have already acquired an emergency pass for the expressway, which will save them at least 3 hours of driving time.
We were going to take the number 6 highway once we were outside Tokyo, but traffic on the highway was restricted. We negotiated with the police and told them that we're from Taiwan and we want to go into the disaster area. We had already contacted humanitarian aid groups at Ground Zero and they were expecting our arrival. The police officers then gave us a pass that is valid for a month.
What can we do to help is the question on many people's minds. And where there's a will, there's a way.
You can wrap the shawl around like this to keep warm. We have many volunteers here to help us expedite a shipment of the shawls to Japan.
At Tzu Chi's Naval Educational Recycling Center in Taiwan, in the past 3 days, more than 300 shifts of manpower have been invested to crank out blankets and shawls for Japan. By Monday, the 21st, 10,000 shawls and nearly 8,000 blankets will be ready for shipment to keep the disaster victims in northeast Japan warm.
At the Jingsi abode in Hualien, Taiwan, Buddhist nuns and Tzu Chi volunteers busily pack boxes of aid for disaster victims in Japan.
What we are currently doing is gathering personnel and supplies. Depending on the needs, we will continue to collect aid. After that, we will wait until the risk of radiation is lifted. Then our people will start conducting a thorough survey. When they come back, they will tell us what is needed and what preparations to make. Finally, we will organize a more complete distribution. With temperatures around 5 degrees Celsius, the steamy rice is a comforting sight for Oarai residents who, without utilities, have not been able to cook. Today, Tzu Chi has brought gas and cooking utensils to make curry and miso soup. Local senior high school students put on Tzu Chi volunteer vests to serve the much-awaited hot food. Volunteers from near and far throw themselves into the work with passion.
The curry and rice from Taiwan is really delicious. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming and making food for everyone. Thank you so much. Everyone enjoyed the curry and is very grateful for the food. On the bustling streets, after making sure there's no risk from radioactive dust, Tzu Chi volunteers are out fundraising for victims of the earthquake and tsunami.
And over in America, on the streets of Long Island, New York, cries ring out and volunteers bow in thanks.
It is another busy day on the streets of Sydney's Martin's Place, but passers-by, however rushed they are, make a little stop to donate to Tzu Chi's Japan earthquake relief. In Chinatown, shoppers of all cultural backgrounds are eager to show their love. Halfway across the world, in Paraguay's Ciudad del Este, volunteers canvassed in shops and received more than 1,000 donations. Meanwhile, in Penang, Malaysia, the Tzu Chi chapter also launched its fundraising campaign for Japan and has been invited to set up collection boxes at 97 branches of a popular local beverage chain for a duration of 2 days. Before Tzu Chi's 4th large-scale free clinic in Sri Lanka commences, a prayer is held for quake-hit Japan. Local residents who survived the 2004 Asian tsunami contribute without hesitation.
Here at Dai TV's fundraising event on the evening of March 20th, words of encouragement and blessing for the people in Japan show up on the screen. Taiwanese singer Ong Qian-yu also arrives with the hope that she can bring some comfort through her songs. During the 2-hour program, kind-hearted people from all around the globe leave their encouragement through the phone, internet and fax. Also making a contribution are volunteers who help take the calls. Each message shows the love and compassion in callers from around the world, with many also vowing to follow Master Tzu Chi's call to repent and go on a meatless diet. Coming to the end of the event, program hosts lead participants, audiences and Tzu Chi volunteers in a prayer for a disaster-free world.
All my heart is filled with sincere prayer.
In Johannesburg's Chinatown, volunteers carrying the banner of the donation drive can be seen everywhere. Through the love they carry, racial and national boundaries are easily overcome, and those who need love and support far away find it sent their way. As rain falls here in San Francisco, the temperature continues to drop in what has become a chilly and wet day. However, Tzu Chi volunteers are undaunted and hit the streets canvassing.
Nearly 1,500 Tzu Chi volunteers mobilize and take to the streets to canvass for donations. Spreading across 44 different locations in the cities of Vancouver, Surrey, Richmond, Coquitlam and Burnaby, volunteers all do their part for Japan.
It's one world. We love you dearly. We're all trying to help and do our best. God bless you.
Here in the shopping malls and supermarkets, people take money out of their pockets not to make a purchase, but to donate to a good cause.
Bundled up to protect themselves from the freezing weather, volunteers work hard to raise love and awareness for the disaster victims. With compassion that equals any adult, children can also be seen donating.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Volunteers stationed at supermarkets give customers a chance to donate as they shop.
As relief supplies arrive in Japan's Iwate prefecture, some volunteers immediately help with unloading.
We have heard only good things about you volunteers from Taiwan, and so it's with an easy heart that we invite you into our lives here. You are all our friends, and we thank you.
Tzu Chi's disaster assessment team is visiting 6 different emergency shelters in the city. In addition to inquiring into the conditions at each shelter, they also ask how many people are living in the surrounding areas. As second wave of relief supplies arrives, volunteers immediately dispatch them to those in need. With little time to feel sorry for themselves, residents line up to pick up supplies. They know that by only working together can they get through this difficult time. Living packed together like this could be difficult. However, residents instead use the constant company as a source of companionship, which gives them the strength to face another day.
Hoping to alleviate the suffering in the city, Tzu Chi's disaster survey team visits 6 emergency shelters while handing out supplies on the second day of their arrival. Out of respect of the survivors' privacy, the handout was to be outside the shelters, but the team was invited in by grateful residents. Wrapping a shawl round a senior to keep warm, both the giver and receiver can't help but cry. At moments like this, a sincere hug is worth more than 1,000,000 words. Everyone here has their own story. Some lost the homes they built single-handedly. Some lost their loved ones.
津波で。
でもこの子まだおばあちゃんがしますよ。おばあちゃん頑張ってください。子供たちためにぜひ頑張ってください。
はい、どうもどうも。遠くからね、どうもありがとうございます。
Never did these survivors think that there were people in other countries who cared for them with the same love as a family member.
Having read this letter from you, I now know Taiwan has had its share of earthquakes. Taiwan has also faced hardships. Thank you for coming all the way from Taiwan.
The love from around the world has touched the survivors deeply and re-energized their hearts with a newfound strength. Cold weather still engulfs northeast Japan, and the survivors face many challenges ahead. But with love from around the world, hopefully the road to recovery will be easier.
Hearing that residents were running low on supplies, Tzu Chi volunteers quickly arrived on the scene. People gather and support each other through this difficult time. Tzu Chi as well remembers to not only give supplies to emergency shelters, but nearby homes as well.
About 500 to 600 people live right around here. They come here to pick up food, then return. So in reality, over some 800 survivors have taken refuge around this area. Right now, we still have enough blankets and shawls for about 600 to 700 people. So we will unload them all here.
Everyone faces the unprecedented disaster to the best of their ability, including City Councilman Komatsu. He writes down his personal thanks on the back of his business cards for each volunteer.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out of your way. We have felt your sincerity, and I'm deeply touched. If only just a little bit, I would like to convey my gratitude. So please allow me to do this. Thank you.
Halfway through thanking the volunteers, the councilman breaks down in tears. The pent-up emotions were too much to hold back even for his male pride. Polite as always, Komatsu apologizes for his behavior, which actually helped bring everyone closer together. Though it may seem sunny and warm, in fact the bone-chilling wind can freeze your breath in tears. I'm almost numb in my limbs. For proof of how cold it is, you can see how there's a thin layer of ice here. Even in March, northeast Japan remains very cold. The blankets brought by Tzu Chi volunteers can help the residents stay warm at night, and the shawls can be worn to keep warm when going out. Just as important as the supplies, it is the sincere love that the volunteers deliver that has warmed the hearts of these disaster survivors.
私は台湾から参りました。こんな朝早くお邪魔しました。抱歉，那个冷哦，那个冷，我们先进来。谢谢，少しちょっと寒い。我们带了一些披肩来给大家保暖。他说他要放在膝上，可以保暖。はい。
ありがとうございます。どうも。
大家辛苦了，但是加油哦。どうも。你要保重哈，你要保重哦哈。诚心祈求天下无灾，人皆平，远离苦难。
An elderly woman succumbs to her emotions, and a Tzu Chi volunteer comforts her with a Tzu Chi song. The love in the music crosses the language barrier and warms the hearts of residents. United, the world stands as one with Japan to help her cope with nature's fury. This love has reached the shores of Iwate Prefecture and is making life better here one day at a time.